Good morning, class. I have a special surprise for you today. We're going to meet one of the most important people in English history. Does anybody have any guesses who that might be? That's a good guess, Jai. Yes, the man on the board behind me is who we're going to talk about today. Pretty smart. All right, so Shakespeare is his name. William Shakespeare. We're going to learn all about his life and what it was like for him to live in England almost 500 years ago. Yeah, that's a long time ago. So, William Shakespeare is a very important figure in the English language. And since you are all learning English, I thought you might like to learn a little bit about where some of our words came from. This one man, yeah, it was very important. So, we're going to play a little game. I'm going to pass out this sheet of paper to everybody, and it says Shakespeare's biography on top. Biography means someone's life story. After we learn Shakespeare's biography, we're going to tell our own biographies to each other. Okay? Any questions about that? Great. Yeah. Okay, so on that worksheet, you're going to see some empty spaces. I'm going to tell you Shakespeare's biography, and you're going to fill in the missing information, kind of like you're solving a mystery. Okay? So when you hear the right information, you're going to write it down on the worksheet. Okay? Does everybody have their pens out? Pencils? Okay. Great. You got your worksheets? Let's get started. Let's hear Shakespeare's biography. So we're going to start with his birthday. Shakespeare's birthday is a mystery. No one knows for sure. Do you like mysteries? Yeah, I see Nock does. I love mysteries. Maybe one day someone will solve this mystery. But for now, we think that William Shakespeare was born on April 23rd, 1564. Were any of you born in April? Go ahead and raise your hand if you were born in April. Yeah, I see we've got 2 April birthdays. Shakespeare was born in England, in the small town of Stratford. How many of you know where England is? Yeah, raise your hands if you know. That's good. Right. England is on the Atlantic Ocean as part of Europe. Good job. Now, before Shakespeare became famous, he went to school, just like all of you. Everyone starts out as a student, right? But he probably quit school around 12 or 13 years old, when he was just a little bit older than you guys are now. Is that surprising to anyone? It surprises me. One of the smartest men in European history quit school when he was still a kid. But 500 years ago, school was different than it is today. We have to remember that back then, most people couldn't go to school for as long as we do today. So we're kind of lucky. When he was only 18 years old, Shakespeare married his wife, Anne. She was 26 years old. They had a long life together, during which they had 3 children. 2 of them were twins. Raise your hand if you know any twins. Yeah, I see one person knows some twins. I know some twins too. I went to high school with them. Yeah, it was confusing sometimes. Right. Shakespeare unfortunately had a sad experience though. One of his children died when he was only 11 years old. His name was Hamnet. Hamnet was one of the twins. Later, Shakespeare wrote a play called Hamlet. It sounds a lot like Hamnet, doesn't it? Many people think so too. They think he might have named the play for the son he still loved and wanted to remember. For most of his life, Shakespeare lived and worked in the city of London. He wrote 39 plays. Wow, that's a lot. Each play is many, many pages long. Have any of you ever written a play? Yeah, it can be a lot of fun. In his plays, Shakespeare used a lot of words. In fact, he used over 25,000 different words. That's a huge vocabulary. How do you think he learned so many words? Any guesses? He read the dictionary. That's good. It's a good guess. He studied a lot. Yeah, good guess. He memorized. That's a good strategy there. Yeah, those are all good guesses. But I know a secret I don't think you guys would guess. The secret is that Shakespeare invented some of those words. Yeah, did you guys know people can invent new words? It happens every year in English. We add new words to our dictionary. That's pretty cool, right? But Shakespeare is the best inventor of English words in the history of our language. Maybe one of you will outdo him one day. Shakespeare invented over 500 words and phrases. We use these words and phrases today. Some of these words are schoolboy, yeah, like you, useful, and never ending. Yeah, those are words he invented. Raise your hands if you know those words. That's great. Most of you know those words. So it's hard to imagine English today without Shakespeare. But no one can live forever. After having written many plays that people still read today, William Shakespeare died on April 23rd, 1616. He was only 52 years old. That's really young, isn't it? 52. But back then, people didn't live as long as we do today. And although his plays are read around the world, they've been translated into over 80 languages. Yeah, probably your language. Shakespeare died in the same town where he was born. So, that was a good story, wasn't it? He had a really interesting life, and he wrote a lot. But today we're going to talk a lot. So, you're going to find out your partner's biography now. So on the other side of your worksheets, you'll see there's space for you to fill out your partner's biography. So I want you to turn to your partners and start asking them the questions that you see on the back of the sheet. Go ahead and write down the answers, because then you're going to tell your partner's biography to another classmate, just like I told you Shakespeare's biography. Okay? Any questions about that? No? Okay, great. So, go ahead and turn to your partners and start asking them these questions. We're going to take about 5 minutes for this. Then we're going to work together again, and then I'm going to put you with a new partner so you can tell their biography to them. All right, let's get started. Great. So if you could all turn this way, we're going to practice for just a moment a bit of speaking skills. But first, I want to hear from some of you. What did you learn about your partners today? Does anybody want to share what they learned about their partner's biography? Yes. What did you learn? Your partner's name is David. He was born on January 15th. Great. Good. Who else learned something about their partner they didn't know before? That's really interesting. Your partner went to the same school you did, but you didn't know each other. Great. Good. Okay, so you guys learned lots of interesting things about your partner's biographies. That's great. So, before I switch you into new pairs to tell your partner's biography, I want us to practice what to say. Your new partner will be telling you lots of information about a classmate. So it's really important that you ask them if you don't understand. So if you don't understand what someone is saying to you in English, go ahead and ask them to say it again. So if someone says something, but you need to hear it one more time, go ahead and say, "Could you say that?" Again, that's right. Good guess. Could you say that again? So Maria, what do you say if you need to hear something one more time? Again. Good. Good. Could you say that again? Good. Sometimes people speak too fast. You can't understand. That's okay. You just have to ask them to speak more slowly. So could you say that? Right. More slowly. Okay. So, David, what do you say if I am speaking too fast? More slowly. Good, good. Okay, there might be one more thing. Maybe they're using words you don't know. That's okay too. You need to ask them to use different words. Could you say that with different words? Good. Could you say that with different words? Okay. No. Go ahead. I need to use different words for you to understand. What do you ask me? Really good. Got that on the first try. Nice. Okay. So we're going to try each of these one more time. All together now. Could you say that again? One more time. Good. Someone is speaking too fast. Could you say that more slowly? Right. Someone needs to use different words. Could you say that with different words? Great. So I want you to use these with your new partners if you can't understand what they're telling you. All right, so if everybody's ready, take your worksheets and turn to the partner next to you who isn't your usual partner. So the person sitting next to you, you don't usually work with. Everyone against the walls, we're going to move over here to this group over the close to the walls so you can work together. Great. Good work, everybody.